Natalya and Carmella together, but adding Tamina to the mix, I would have much rather seen Tamina on her own. I would have had her seen on her own, just dominate the women's division like Nia Jax is doing over there. Maybe even build up a Nia Jax versus Tamina match for, it could be an interpromotional matchup they have at SummerSlam or at Survivor Series. Just building that up and then teasing it between the two of them, because that would be awesome. Why have her in this faction with Carmella, who is the Staten Island princess, who is not quite up to being a heel full-fledged? And why have Natalya in it after, I don't know, it just boggles my mind. I mean, it's new, I like that, but it just feels like this is just one of those things where they just threw these women together without any kind of reasoning behind it. I just don't understand it, really, to say the least. I think it would make more sense if they had more women on the roster, but now it's kind of like half of the roster is against the other half. So, it's going to eventually build up to that, where it's going to be, Naomi, Charlotte, and Becky Lynch against Tamina, Natalya, and Carmella. I just didn't get it. It's just one of those things where I kind of left more scratching my head. It was still a great matchup for the main event, but the fact that it ended like that and with them being together just really boggles my head just a little bit. A couple things that actually did happen on SmackDown. Again, they were promoting New Day coming over and then Lana coming over. But here's something that's actually very, very interesting, was that Rusev actually did a bit of a video in which he played down Shane McMahon, played down Daniel Bryan to where he makes it seem like, they don't give him the right opportunity. And he actually threatened to leave the company if he's not given a WWE Championship match at Money in the Bank. So obviously we know when Rusev is probably going to be back at 100%, in theory. The question is, where do they go with this? I mean, I like the idea of having Rusev fight for the WWE Championship. I think that'd be an awesome matchup. I think they need to definitely build up Rusev again. I don't want to lose Rusev. That's the main thing. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, this is kind of a cool angle, but at the same time, I don't want to lose him. He is one of those guys that I would definitely want on my roster. He is very talented, very good in the ring. I think him and Lana are definitely a great duo. Why they split them up, I'll never know. But it's going to still be very interesting to see how Lana does with this burlesque dancer gimmick. But at least we're getting another woman on the roster, so that's a good thing. Now with Rusev, I'm hoping he comes back as just this behemoth of a monster. He just comes back, destroys everybody, super kicks, accolades, just almost kills everybody. Because then, thinking of the future, you could probably build up the idea of having Rusev versus Braun Strowman. Why? Because I think it would be awesome to have another matchup where you have a monster on SmackDown face a monster on Raw, and that would be very cool, to say the least. I think that given the right push, Rusev would be just phenomenal, and continuing Braun Strowman's push the way it is definitely would be an awesome matchup. So I'm wondering where this is going to go with Rusev. I'm probably going to be doing a lot more tuning into SmackDown Live. Unfortunately, last night I did not get a chance to because I was resting, getting ready for being back on my schedule again for work. So unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to do that. But I'm looking forward to seeing what happens next week, and I will be hopefully tuning into that. So all in all, SmackDown was actually pretty good. It was pretty decent. They really only had to do one thing, and that was hype up the House of Horrors match. And they didn't really do that. I mean, the Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho matchup kind of built itself, in all honesty. So I'm not too worried about that. They're going to put on a great matchup on Sunday. That's all I got for SmackTalk. So, of course, guys, be sure to tune in later on, more than likely in just about an hour, I will be uploading the interview with the episode of Change the F Up, A Day in the Life of a Cosplayer, I should say, between myself and Victory Bell. There's going to be a lot of plugs. There's going to be a lot of thank yous. It's going to be an awesome episode. It's a longer episode than what we intended, but I think, in all honesty, it definitely got the point across that we were hoping that, preparation is one of the hardest parts about cosplaying, but I'm not going to get too much into detail because you guys need to listen for yourself. Also today we will have AJ Jensen and Chris Lockman do an interview with Alex Riley. Nope, we're not talking about Alex Riley, the guy who was the Miz's stunt double beforehand. We're talking about Alex Riley, the wrestler in Wisconsin, who I believe is one of the hosts of Grapple Talk podcast. So be sure to tune into that. That's going to be awesome. Tomorrow will be a special edition of Smart Money Podcast where they will talk about ACW Water City WrestleCon as well as predictions for Payback on Sunday. Friday will be another prediction show with Max Speedy. I will be the moderator. And hopefully Spencer Hart will be a part of that as well, because I do not want it to be one of those things where he does it via video, because that's just, come on. Just come on, man. Seriously. And also this Sunday will, of course, be Payback, so be sure to tune in on that on the WWE Network. It might be a promising pay-per-view at least, but we'll have to wait and see. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And, of course, you can always check us out on Spreaker.com, iTunes, Stitcher.com, Satchel Podcast Player, amongst so many other people. Big shout-out to our sponsors, ajsbelts.com, the Satchel Podcast Player, as well as ProWrestlingCrate.com. Go check them out, you guys. Of course, this is brought to you by the Elite Ringside Network. Be sure to check us out and give us a like on Facebook at ER Network 24/7, which is also our Twitter handle. How convenient. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter as well at Nate Effing Great. Be sure to follow Max and Spencer as well. Max at Agent Cooper 1989, as well as Spencer at Spencer Hart ERN. Chris Lockman at KLock7. AJ Jensen at Agens81. That's all the plugs I really have for you guys. So thank you so much for the special edition of SmackTalk. We will talk to you very soon, because Wednesday is turning out to be a pretty chaotic day. So be sure to tune in to, again, Change the F Up episode, as well as a Smart Money Podcast special for Alex Riley interview. So thank you guys so much. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Peace.